Good day, and welcome to Conversations with AARP in the Virgin Islands. I'm Troy Deshabert-Schuster, State Director of AARP in this territory, and it's a great pleasure to be with you once again. AARP continues to champion for legislative changes to protect consumers from fraud and impose harsh penalties against persons who prey on consumers. AARP launched the Fraud Watch Network in 2013. The program is a free resource working to empower consumers, especially older Americans, to spot and avoid those who seek to prey on the vulnerable population and provide support and guidance to victims and their families when fraud happens. AARP is working to equip consumers with up-to-date knowledge to spot and avoid scams and connect those targeted by scams with our fraud helpline specialists who provide support and guidance on what to do next. We also advocate at the federal, state, and local levels to enact policy changes that protect consumers and enforce laws. And to this end, we have with us today two special guests. We have the Commissioner of the Department of Licensing and Consumer Affairs, Attorney Richard Evangelista, and also we have a very special guest who has recently become a victim of a scam, and her name is Sylvia Martin Rios. Good day, Commissioner Evangelista and Ms. Rios. Welcome.
Good morning, State Director Troy Schuster Deshabert. I had to pull it out. It's been some time, as well as Ms. Martin Rios. Unfortunately, you are here in front of us to share with the community what has occurred to you, but hopefully your unfortunate experience will ensure that it does not happen to other members who are members of the ARP, as well as the rest of the surrounding community. So good morning, Mr. Schuster. Thank you for allowing DLCA to come before you this morning to speak about what is occurring recently and what has been ongoing nationally as it relates to scams.
Yeah, but thank you for sharing this important information with us. And so, Ms. Rios, we turn to you to hear a little bit about what happened with you and why you're actually in the office of the Department of Licensing and Consumer Affairs today. So share with us, please.
Sure. Good morning. Thanks for having me, first of all. I was sitting at home, a lonely housewife, minding my business, and I received a call one morning from Miss Mary Allen from South Carolina, and she informed me that I won a prize for $2 million in Mercedes-Benz. Imagine my surprise, my shock. But then there was a catch to it. I had to go out and get me a card for $200. And then that $200 turned into $700.
Right. And so, go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, so Mr. Schuster Deshabert, so what occurred is, so this morning in preparation for the show that you invited me on, thank you very much, Ms. Martin Rios is at our doorstep seeking assistance from our consumer division because she just realized, despite the information she received from her family members, because I mean, it sounded great, she was here to report what had just occurred to her. So it's so timely because this is a live example of what is currently occurring here in the United States Virgin Islands.
And so, Ms. Rios, you actually sent this money to them, the $200 and then $700? Did you actually pay this money out to them?
Yes, I actually paid this money out to them, and they, in turn, wanted $2,000 in a check in the end when they found out that I was coming to this department.
Wow.
Rios, if you can share with Mr. Schuster Deshabert, how did you present the payment to them? Was it a check, money order, a gift card? What exactly did they ask you?
Gift cards. They were gift cards.
And what type of gift card, so people can hear the name? From memory, it was an Amazon gift card.
They were Amazon gift cards.
Oh, so you had to
$700.
So you actually purchased these gift cards from
Yeah,
Amazon, and that's how they got the gift cards from
yeah.
Amazon.
Till it became an embarrassment at the end when I was going to the post office because I became a familiar entity at the post office.
And
And
how did they redeem the gift cards, Miss Martin Rios? How did they get the money from the gift card? What did you have to do so that the listener and viewing audience can learn what not to do? You bought the gift card, and then what happens next?
well, I bought the gift cards, and then the person on the other end of the line, they would ask me to scratch off the numbers and give them the numbers on the back of the cards.
Oh,
That's
So,
how.
Mr. Dishabir, what occurs then at that point, they not only have the card number, but they have the passcode. And with that, the card is insecure and they can utilize and cash that card in. And that's how they're fraudulently scamming people across the internet and via the wireless communication.
wow. That's a really interesting story. I've never heard that type of story. Again, I guess it's happened many times. I've never heard of this kind of occurrence. And um, so then when they go and they spend this money, I mean, is there any trail to find out who these people are, or is it like becoming totally anonymous now? Could you ever find out?
At that point, it becomes anonymous. And when you speak to the law enforcement, they'll share with you. That's what's so difficult about keeping up with these scams. Personally, I received a call yesterday and I shared that with you. And if you have time, you can play it. But literally, I spoke to the individual where they told me I won $1.8 million. And if I could go to the St. Thomas airport, the person would give me my prize. So I ran through the conversation and literally, if you have an opportunity, the person told me to get a gift card for $850 before I get to the airport, share it with them, and at that point, the person would meet me. And I engage in a dialogue for almost 5 minutes. So
Yeah,
they're targeting everyone, you know, whomever has a cell phone. So you listening audience and viewing audience, even your child who may be a minor may actually receive this call. So it's important that ARP does in fact do what it's doing and share the information with the community because there's no minimum age, no maximum age. If someone is carrying a cell phone at this point in time, they're contacting you. And it's not only coming in the form of a publisher clearinghouse sweepstakes scam. I also received a call indicating that there's a problem with my taxes and I need to report to contact this number and pay this amount so, or else I'll face arrest. So they're coming in all forms. And in light of the fact that nationally the stimulus money is rolling out, once again, they're going to try to prey on victims who are trying to maximize the money that they have. And the scammers know that there's some cash available, so they're trying to target this cash. Additionally, because persons have been staying closer to home, it was reported yesterday that the Americans have excess savings because they were not traveling and spending the money that they normally spend.
now, I do have that audio recording queued up, and for the listening audience, what you're about to hear is a recorded conversation between Commissioner Evangelista and somebody who's trying to scam him, saying that he's won over $1 million. And what's so interesting about this is that this person has no idea. They're not only talking with somebody who's the commissioner of the Department of Licensing and Consumer Affairs, but also a gentleman who is a lawyer, an attorney, right here in the Virgin Islands. And so I'm going to play that right now. Let's take a listen.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. We're calling you here, sir, to inform you about a prize of 1.6 million. You have won yourself.
Oh, great! So where do I pick it up?
You're gonna have to pick up this prize at the St. Thomas Airport.
Okay.
At the airport in St. Thomas.
Okay, what time? Today?
Yes, today. Today you should pick up this prize here at the St. Thomas Airport. And where are you now?
I'm in St. Thomas.
Okay, and how far away are you from the airport?
20 minutes. Hello?
Pardon?
20 minutes.
Okay, 20 minutes. And can you make it to the airport right now? Can you make it towards the airport?
No, I'm actually in a meeting. I'm finished. My meetings today finish at about 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock the meeting will finish?
Yes, I'm tied up until 2 p.m.
Okay. Okay, so at 2 o'clock you can make it over there to have to pick up this prize.
Yes, I prefer if you just wire it to me though, so I don't have to pick up cash. That's a lot of cash.
No, you don't have to. How we should wire to you? Wire it into your bank account?
Yeah, sure. My personal bank account.
And where is it? Where is your information? What bank? What bank you're with? What's the name of the bank?
You want to know the name of my bank right now? But how do I know that? What do you want me to go to the airport to do?
To pick up the 1.6 million. You're gonna pick up the 1.6 million at the airport. At the airport, you should go and pick up the 1.6 million.
Right, but who am I meeting?
You're gonna meet Mr. John Williams. Mr. John Williams will be at the airport waiting in you for your presentation of your arrival here. So what are you gonna do? If you could make it there right now, that would be great for you.
But what do I have to do? You need my ID? What do you need from me?
What are you gonna do? You're gonna bring your ID with you along card. You will have to get yourself a registration gift card along with your valid ID or your driver's license to pick up your package up over by the airport here in St. Thomas.
But what do you mean a registration gift card? Like a Home Depot card?
No. Do you know the one vanilla gift card or the Amazon? Do you know the Amazon gift card?
No.
What you will have to do, you will have to get a gift card at the post office.
Okay.
Amazon gift card.
Oh, Amazon.
At the post
Amazon.
office.
Amazon.
Yes, Amazon gift card at the post office.
But how much do I need to? What is the gift card for? To say thank you?
The gift card now is for your registration towards the government. It stores your taxes and your registration towards your government, so you will have to get this gift card for $850.
So can I take the gift card straight to the Internal Revenue and pay my taxes instead of giving it to someone?
That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take it with you at the airport.
Yeah, but why don't I just take?
But
I can take it to the tax office so that I make sure they get it.
No, you're not going to take it towards the tax office. You're going to take it towards the airport. You're going to take it at the airport to pick up your package at the custom at the airport. That's what will happen.
And you said I pick it up from a John Williams?
Yes, from John Williams there at the airport.
So does John Williams work for Publisher Clearinghouse?
He's the prize holder. He's your prize holder. He's the one who should then have your package delivered to you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if I can't go now, but I can meet him at 2 o'clock. So what should I do?
2 o'clock you can meet him. That's right.
Yes.
What you gonna do before you go to meet those guys? You gave me a call, but you will have to pick up the gift card at the post office before you get out the airport.
All right. What number do I use?
Right.
What number do I use to call you back?
Do you see the number in your phone? Look in your phone. You see the office number in your phone.
1 second. I don't want to lose you. 970-363-2974.
That's correct, sir. That's correct.
And who do I ask for?
David White at extension 5.
Okay, great. So I'll call you around 1:45 p.m.
All right, no problem, brother.
Thank
Call
you.
me as soon as you can. All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wow. And again, for the listening audience, you were just listening to a recording of some strange person trying to scam our commissioner of the Department of Licensing and Consumer Affairs unknowingly. He doesn't realize he's speaking with an attorney, right? And so, so how did that all work out, Commissioner Evangelista? You said that he called you again today to follow up?
Yes, so this morning around 7:15 a.m., the gentleman called me back and asked what happened yesterday. I said, told him to go to work. Are you says, no problem. He did. And so they
We're having a hard time hearing you now. Maybe your voice is trailing off, but yeah,
Is that better?
that's much better. Yes.
So the scammers will continue to engage the audience, their scam victim, as long as you continue. So you either play with them or you play along. And unfortunately, with Miss Sylvia Martin Rios here on the phone, she actually played with them, but she just played too much and she got enticed. And what is happening for your viewing and listening audience, what Miss Martin Rios shared with me, she's been home due to COVID-19. She's read all the books she can read. She reads the both daily local newspapers. And at the end of the day, when she's finished with her crossword puzzle, when this enticing call comes in, she's not on her way to DV. So she's thinking, wow, I didn't even get a ride to DV and I won something. So, it's entertainment, but it's a lucrative form of entertainment. And for the listening, viewing audience, especially the membership of ARP, I really want them to be very aware that you are potential victims, just as I am a victim. And you just have to be smarter than them and know that if someone is giving something to you for free, be very, very skeptical. More likely than not, it is not true.
Yes, and so Ms. Rios, back to you. So how did you finally realize that you were being scammed? What brought this to an end, and what brought you into licensing and consumer affairs today?
After the gentleman refused to accept checks, and then at the last minute, he decided he would accept a check for $2,000.
Wow.
When he heard that I was coming to this agency,
Wow.
he all of a sudden was going to produce a prize.
But you had to pay $2,000 first.
But I had to pay $2,000.
So he got $200 out of you, and then $700.
No,
and
700 total.
$700 total he got out of you. Okay,
Yes.
and you realized that this was really going down the wrong path.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thankfully you didn't pay him the other $2,000.
No, I knew better than that. This gentleman actually knew how much money I had in my account, in my checking account.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the part that really bothered me this morning. It has me perplexed. That I'm going to follow up on.
Because he was insisting, yes, he knew I could afford to write him a check for $2,000. Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
So if I may, at this point, for Sylvia Martin Rios, as well as your listening and viewing audience, Mr. Schuster-Jabir, there's 6 ways to recognize and avoid the publisher clearinghouse scam, since we're speaking about this particular scam. But in fact, publisher clearinghouse sweepstakes are legit. But there's 6 things that I can share with you that the Federal Trade Commission has issued, is that publisher clearinghouse doesn't email or call its big winners. That's number 1. So that's rule number 1 that you have now learned, Ms. Martin Rios. Number 2, you never have to pay to receive a legitimate publisher clearinghouse win. So that's number 2 lesson that Ms. Sylvia Martin Rios has learned today. Also, don't give out confidential information when you enter. So especially your social security number, your bank account number, your driver's license number, things that they can use to actually steal your identity and then obtain money under false pretenses. A check doesn't mean you've won either. Some persons in other contests that since I've been in this office have received checks. They've attempted to cash it, it screwed up their account, come to find out it's a fraudulent check. Also, do your research before you respond. When your family members are sharing with you and telling you, Sylvie, this don't seem right, this don't seem legit, you gotta listen to them. And finally, verify your wins with the publisher clearinghouse directly. Call them and say, hey, this is my name, I've been contacted, and they can verify with you. And these are the same similar things that you can use, tips to use for other contests that claim you've won.
Yeah, and especially for older people, when these scammers call them up and ask them for all kinds of information,
Right,
I always tell my mother and any older person, don't talk to them. Just
correct,
say, just ask them for their phone number and say that your son or your daughter will call them back and see how fast they get off the line, right?
correct.
Don't even entertain it. Just say, oh, my son will call you back. That's it.
Right. What's unfortunate also, Mr. Schuster de Chabert, is that because we're speaking to the more wiser population of the AARP membership, when they get a phone call from Social Security or the Internal Revenue, automatically they're like, oh my goodness, these are people that I respect. I have always respected them. Let me divulge my information. I want your audience to listen to me keenly. No federal office regarding your taxes or local office regarding your taxes or your social security or even your insurance is going to contact you by phone to request information. It's coming by USPS mail or some other paper format. So please, and you know what? You have, in addition to these information, contact your AARP office. You can contact the Department of Licensing and Consumer Affairs. We actually have a scam number that we set up. It's 727-SCAM or 717-SCAM, and that's going to be posted closer to when I get off the air. But you can report this, Ms. Martin. We're going to help her prepare a report to submit to the Virgin Islands Police Department Economic Bureau, because they actually have a department that addresses this. I'm also going to share this information with the Attorney General's office and the U.S. Attorney's office so that we can collectively and collaboratively put out a press release. This is about sharing information, and I really thank the AARP of the Virgin Islands for providing this medium and helping us get the message out, because this is just another way to help us ensure that Virgin Islanders are secure and protected with the means that they have to provide for themselves.
Yes, and I want to repeat for the listening audience something that Commissioner Evangelista just said. No governmental agency, federal nor local, whether it be Internal Revenue Bureau or the IRS, or whether it may be Social Security or CMS, Medicare, none of them will contact you by phone asking you for any kind of information. They only communicate with you by mail, a letter that will arrive through United States Postal Service or some other legitimate carrier. Okay, so don't be misled when they call you up or send you a text message or send you an email. They will never communicate with you that way, only through United States Postal Service and through some other legitimate carrier, perhaps maybe FedEx or UPS, but usually just United States Postal Service. So please be aware of that.
Yeah, to piggyback on what Mr. Schuster de Chabert said, I forgot that many of our wiser people in the community have these electronic gadgets in their hand. You know, email or text, I mean, that is so far and foreign to these agencies who are ensuring that you continue to exist, that they will not communicate with you except by article of mail, hard copy that arrives via some sort of medium. So any electronic communication from these persons, please share that information with somebody who can follow up with you. Do not fall victim to these scam artists.
Yes. And so looking at the COVID-19 vaccine, now I hear there are a lot of scams and schemes out there with regard to that. What are you seeing and hearing in licensing and consumer affairs?
Sure. Mr. Schuster de Chabert, first of all, what I'd like to share with your listening and viewing audience, show up and shoot out. Please get your shot if you haven't already. I know there's a lot of questions. Do your research, and please, let's try to help and preserve our community. Number two, as it relates to the COVID-19 scams, specifically the vaccines, we here at DLCA have not yet received any calls regarding scams regarding the vaccines, nor with the vaccine cards. However, it does exist, and everything does take its time to get to the Virgin Islands. So just be wary that some persons may be attempting to sell you fraudulent vaccine cards. Those are the ID cards that demonstrate and indicate that you have received the vaccination. that will allow you to enter certain jurisdictions that require it. Don't engage in that. As you can see, almost every state, including the United States Virgin Islands as a territory, have created a crime that considers that fraud. And if you're following your local news here in the US Virgin Islands, persons have been arrested for uploading fraudulent vaccine tests, COVID-19 tests. But as far as the card, that will also be prosecuted. So please be wary of persons selling you the cards for the convenience of you to demonstrate that you have had the vaccine.
Fantastic. And we have just a couple of minutes left. So Commissioner Evangelista, if you will share with us again, how can people report incidents?
Sure. As it relates to scamming and your local US Virgin Islands scams, we are participating in assistance to assist the Virgin Islands Police Department, as well as the Virgin Islands Attorney General's Office and the US Attorney's Office. So we have specifically set up a scam number since I came into office with the assistance of our local telecommunications company. That number is 340-727-SCAM, SCAM. And the SCAM is actually 7226. So the number is 340-727-7226. And that's for the District of St. Croix. And for the District of St. Thomas and St. John, similarly, we have a number 340-771-SCAM. So that's 340-771-7226.
Excellent. And so on behalf of AARP, Ms. Sylvia Martin Rios, we thank you so much for being on the show with us today. We realize this was rather impromptu. You went in there to report this incident at the Department of Licensing and Consumer Affairs, and here you are. So on behalf of AARP, again, thank you so much. And we hope to see you in our AARP office once we get to reopen after the pandemic has lightened up a bit. Our offices are still closed and we're all working from home. And Commissioner Evangelista, thank you for making time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. And we look forward to having you on many more shows in the future as we continue to talk about scams here in the Virgin Islands and keeping people away from being affected by fraud. So thank you and your department so much.
Sure. And thank you, Mr. Schuster Dishabir, for allowing DLCA to participate in this medium that hopefully we're reaching new members of the community. We've been anxiously and vehemently working to ensure that everyone has as much information as possible to ensure that we continue to secure and protect our consumers, who are both businesses as well as consumers. And if I may do a quick shout out, thank you to the DLCA staff, St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John, who actually are here to ensure that your members, as well as everyone who's visiting the community, are safe in what they do on a daily basis. So thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.